So, the official word is fuck the turtles. That's what I led with on my date. They said fuck the turtles. I mean, the guy from the mayor's office actually said motherfuck the motherfucking turtles, but I had to clean it up a bit for a first date because I am all about the class. So that's what I told him, Cutie McHottie. I told Cutie McHottie. They said fuck the turtles, and then he's all glassy-eyed. It's like, so what do you do again? And I realized either I haven't actually told him yet what it is I do, or I did tell him and he just didn't hear or didn't care, or some combination in varying degrees of them both. So I have to explain it. Like, think of a supply chain as a progressive series of milestones that a product, let's say a fancy new shiny thing that's all the H's, Xmas goes along to get it from the factory. That makes it to the outgoing port, on a vessel, over the ocean blue, through another port, and customs clearance to a transload facility where it is added to other keen relish for your pleasure, picked up and driven along a highway to a distribution center, and ultimately shuttled to a retail establishment of your choice so that you may purchase it and finally be happy. Except I didn't say it like that because of the day I had the fire, the explosion, the chemicals all over everything, the client asking, well, is it a total loss or is there something we can salvage? And I'm like, it's a total loss. And she's like, but is everything on fire? And I'm like, chemicals, Shelly. And she's like, ugh. And I'm saying, Shelly, they're toys. You sell toys that are now covered in flammable toxic chemicals, mostly on fire, in a Shanghai dock. So yes, we're talking a total loss here. Anyway, so I'm sitting in front of Cutie McHottie and he is looking at me and the goddamn turtle line didn't slay like it was supposed to. So there's all this silence. So what do you do again? Well, Cutie McHottie, and I did not call him that. You know how big, fat corporations maximize profits by exploiting poor countries and hiring desperate people to work for slave wages so you and I can buy cheap shit at big box stores? Well, I help those slaves get their shit from the factory onto a boat or plane in the most efficient way possible, deal with any bullshit from local governments, and then get them cleared through any bullshit from our government. And after it's all over, I rat out the slaves to their corporate overlords by telling how slow they were and how many pieces of their shit were not present and accounted for, so the corporation overlords can punish the slaves by charging back or refusing to pay them the full paltry amount originally promised. And for that, I get to grab a little piece of that money passing by as it goes from corporate to slave. That is how mama eats. You know, and there was dead silence. And then he just kind of went, cool, cool. And did I read the room? No, nope. What I did was double down on the fucking turtles. But right now I say, my job is fucking turtles. I don't mean like these fucking turtles. No, I mean actually fucking turtles. I mean not in the biblical sense. I'd had a couple martinis at this point. But you know, fucking the turtles over. See, there are all these shipping companies. They're always working to make their ships bigger, hold more and more and more and more DWT. That's dead weight tonnage. Product, more and more and more product, so the masses can swallow it whole and swallow it faster. So they are constantly building ships to hold more stuff. And it used to be, well, it can only go as big as what can go through the Panama Canal. And then they were like, fuck that, let's just make the Panama Canal bigger. But that shit takes time, and it is a hell of a lot faster to make a ship than, you know, displace the earth. So they ended up with these colossal supermax vessels that could hold up to 60,000 tons worth of shit. But the problem was they couldn't go anywhere. They were too big to get into most harbors, so that precious bullshit would just have to float around. And that's where I come in. See, they were already eyeing Savannah because it was immune to the traffic and weather issues of a place like Newark. And they had already totally kicked Charlottesville to the curb because they were about to go Union, and we can't have that. So that just left good old Georgia and the port of Savannah. And the only thing that kept us from getting all that business was the harbor was too shallow for these supermax ships. So I say, grab a shovel, bitches. And don't you know, at that moment, the hippies come out in droves yapping about the fucking turtles. The sea turtles are an endangered species. You can't dredge the harbor, you'll kill the turtles. But we're too far in. at this point. Someone is going to get those contracts for the supermaxes. Someone is going to tear a hole in the ocean floor to accommodate, and I will be goddamned if some turtle is going to stop the great state of Georgia from getting that cabbage. And when you look at it in the grand scheme of the universe, can we for a sec look at it in the grand scheme of the universe? When all these factory workers in China decided that they might like some basic human rights, like wages and stuff. Oh, the right to collectively bargain. You remember that? Oh, a beautiful American corporation said, damn, Skippy, it's about time Chinese workers had a better standard of living. We support this movement. Oh, and by the way, on an unrelated side note, we're going to be moving most of our Chinese factory business to Vietnam. Oh, and we have heard the people in Ethiopia are just ripe for opportunities, and we would love to partner with those good people and give them a shot at opportunity, which is so much better than saying, oh, they're starving and we'll make textiles for pennies a day. Sign us up. But when you look at it like that, it is almost a sin to care more about the turtles than the Ethiopians. So I begin my work in earnest, and I think we can all agree that the motherfucking turtle speaks for itself. Am I right? So my real question to you is, how long before I can call him